Welcome to Avaco Rolling Mills, Canada's world-class producer of steel billets and wire rod. During your visit to our site, your health and safety are primary concerns. Industrial plants such as ours are potentially hazardous environments, so it's important that you take precautions to protect yourself and others around you. That's what this video is about, making the most of your visit while staying safe and healthy. So, let's get started. The most fundamental safety practice is to remain aware of hazards and activities in your surroundings at all times. This includes such things as vehicle traffic, overhead work, tripping and slipping hazards, hazardous materials, hot metal and high temperatures, power tool operation, dust, fumes, and industrial chemicals, and working near energized equipment, to name only a few. The Avaco representative who accompanies you will point out other potential hazards as they are encountered. Safety begins at our front gate. To protect against unauthorized entry, visitors must register and display identification while on the property. You must arrange in advance to meet your host for the visit, either at the front gate or at a designated location in the plant. On site, video surveillance is used to monitor and evaluate activities, not just to enhance security, but to aid in detecting and responding to environmental, health, and safety issues as they arise. Inside and outside plant buildings, we operate in a high-traffic environment. Outside, industrial traffic includes scrap trucks, wire trucks, front-end loaders, locomotives, and delivery vehicles. These vehicles and emergency vehicles entering the site have priority and right-of-way. Added to that are many personal vehicles moving to and from the front gate to on-site parking areas, and large numbers of pedestrians, especially at shift change. Inside, expect to see mobile cranes, forklifts, scrap trucks, scissor lifts, boom lifts, specialized tracked vehicles such as ladle jackhammers, and automated equipment such as the Sundbursta coil transport system. What are the best ways to stay safe in a high-traffic environment? No matter where you are on mill property, stay alert for traffic and equipment movement of all kinds. If you're on foot, look for traffic before stepping into a crosswalk. Move out of the way when vehicles or heavy loads approach you. Inside the plant, walk within the defined pathways whenever possible. Do not walk in high-risk zones marked by diagonal painted lines within defined floor spaces. Take special care around overhead cranes, especially in noisy areas that may compromise your hearing. Even while accompanied by your Avaco host, check carefully before entering a crane workspace. Listen for warning horns and sirens, taking care to step out of the way as a crane carrying a load approaches and passes. Never stand or walk under a suspended load. If possible, establish eye contact with the crane operator before crossing a crane work area. If you are driving, follow the posted 20 km/h speed limits inside the security perimeter and obey all traffic signs and regulations. Sound your horn when approaching pedestrian crosswalks. At the crossing, bring your vehicle to a complete stop. Allow any pedestrians to cross before proceeding. Stop at railway crossings. If a train is approaching, stay put. It has the right-of-way. Take special care when entering doorways, turning corners, or entering other areas where your view may be obstructed. Again, sound your horn before entering. Park only in designated parking locations. Throughout the plant, you may encounter visual and auditory warning devices. Look and listen for hazard warnings such as caution tape, signage, floor markings, sirens indicating that overhead equipment is approaching, and backup alarms on vehicles. If you see or hear any of these warning devices, take extra care. Look around, behind you, and above you. Note the hazard and proceed only when you are sure it's safe to do so. Fundamental to visitor safety is the wearing of appropriate personal protective equipment, PPE, at all times. What does that entail? In the plant, you are required to wear the appropriate personal protective equipment supplied by the security office or your Avaco representative. In some areas, a heat-resistant jacket may be required. Everywhere in the plant, you must wear a CSA-approved hard hat with attached hearing protection. CSA-approved safety glasses, complete with side shields, are also required PPE. Contact lenses are prohibited at all times because dust and chemicals can be trapped behind the lens and cause irritation or damage to the cornea. CSA-approved safety footwear with a steel toe and puncture-resistant soles must be worn in all production areas. High heels, open-toe, or open-heel shoes are not permitted in the plant. In certain work areas, hand protection is required. In most cases, standard gloves with leather palms and abrasion-resistant cloth backs and cuffs are suitable. To summarize, accidents resulting in bodily injury can and do occur when required safety equipment is not worn or is worn incorrectly. For your own safety, never cut corners when it comes to the correct use of personal protective equipment. Please note that you are not permitted to wear a hooded sweatshirt, jacket, or other top while in the plant due to the risk of the hoodie snagging on equipment or protruding objects. In keeping with Avaco's waste management system, garbage and materials that can be recycled should be placed in their designated bins. Recycling bins for a wide variety of materials are located at stations throughout the plant. If you have questions about the location of these bins, ask your Avaco representative. Chemical and oil products require special attention in a workplace like ours. Any chemical product brought on site must first be reviewed and approved by the environmental and health and safety departments to ensure that they do not pose any unnecessary risks. Visiting confined spaces presents hazards that may not be readily apparent. Examples include enclosed equipment rooms, industrial tanks, tunnels, and ductwork. Visitors must conform to confined space entry policies and procedures as explained by company representatives. Any work performed on a machine or other type of equipment that has an electrical, kinetic, or mechanical energy source must be locked and tagged out before work begins. Visitors to such areas must be accompanied by an authorized company representative and must adhere to company lockout procedures. As you've seen, Avaco's approach to health and safety protection emphasizes prevention. But when emergencies do arise, response procedures, trained personnel, and appropriate equipment are ready and waiting. If evacuation is required, security personnel sound an evacuation alarm. All personnel, visitors, and contractors must then leave the plant immediately using the closest outside door and proceed to their assigned evacuation staging areas. At the staging areas, supervisors take the attendance of the workers and others present to make sure that everyone is accounted for. If a visitor is injured or is in danger on the job, an emergency response team, along with personnel from our medical and security departments, are ready to respond. These individuals are trained to respond to any medical or crisis situation which could arise on site. What should you do if you suffer an injury while visiting the plant? It is Avaco policy that every injury must be reported. Even something as seemingly insignificant as a scratch on your finger should be declared to your accompanying Avaco representative. Any injury that breaks the skin can lead to infection, so it's important to treat it promptly. If the incident requires first aid, a certified first aid attendant will assist you. If the injury is more serious, arrangements will be made for prompt medical care. If you witness an accident or a health, safety, or environmental hazard, report it immediately to the Avaco representative accompanying you or to security by calling 911. As you've learned in this video, Avaco makes every effort to protect the health and safety of everyone in the mill. In summary, to do your part as a visitor, remain in close proximity to your Avaco host. Stay alert to your surroundings. Wear required personal protective equipment at all times. Practice good housekeeping. Seek prompt treatment when even minor injuries occur. Operate vehicles with care. And know what to do in case of an emergency. Visiting Iveco rolling mills can be an exciting and informative experience, but it's important to prioritize health and safety at all times. By following the practices outlined in this video, you can minimize risks while ensuring a safe and enjoyable experience for you and those around you.